apologies necessary. It is always wonderful to hear about people trying to take this next step in their spirituality and initiations. It's like such an exciting time. So thank you, thank you. It's such a wonderful thing to share. Um, I'm joining you all from Austria, actually, which is why my background and everything is a little bit different. Um, came here for just like a little sweet retreat, and it's been kind of wonderful speaking to many devotees and just really getting a chance to have their association and speak at length with people that I don't normally get to speak a lot with, because usually there's a kirtan festival happening and I'm in a place for like 3-4 days, and then the kirtan happens and then off to the next place. So it's been really nice to kind of slow down and actively have this time to speak with other devotees. But I am so glad and so happy that I'm able to be with all of you. So glad that I bought like my portable like ring light and all this stuff. Lots of equipment. But I'm really happy that I did it, because missing this Ekadashi lecture is not something that I would like to do. And so we have a prayer request from Erin asking for their Aunt Diane, who is about to leave her body, which is, of course, sad for us, but in kind of the most auspicious thing that could ever happen. It is Ekadashi. We are right on the cusp of a very spiritually surcharged month that we'll speak about. And Ekadashi, if I have learned anything, and I was just speaking with a devotee yesterday, is such a wonderful time to pray for others. If we don't follow Ekadashi for ourselves, at least we can do it for others. And Ekadashi Devi is so incredibly merciful that she's so eager to just benedict us and to benedict those that we love, that she's so eager to bless everyone unlimitedly. And the wonderful thing about praying for others on Ekadashi is that you don't lose any of your merits or benefit. Actually, it says that they get doubled. So the more that we pray for others, the more our own benefits for fasting on Ekadashi and taking up this austerity, they get doubled just for us. So with that said, we'll begin with our Mangala Charna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So once again, I do want to thank Erin for being so vulnerable. It is not easy to share one's heart, but I do believe that this is the crux of our Krishna consciousness, this sharing of the heart and hearing in confidence from others. Rupa Goswami says it's so incredibly important, part of the 6 loving exchanges between devotees. And I do believe that this is where our real Krishna consciousness in application comes in. This is where we get to walk the talk. This is where we get to put our money where our mouth is, so to speak. And we get to really act like Vaishnavas. So when somebody comes to us with sharing their Krishna consciousness or sharing something vulnerable that they're going through, we can understand just how important that is. How much courage it must have taken for that person to confide in a group of devotees, thinking, but these devotees, they can help me. They know exactly how to help me. They can give me some solace. And now we have the opportunity to be Krishna's instruments of mercy, of compassion, of kindness, of Krishna's most soothing grace. And we will see how Krishna acts with certain messengers when we come before him with others who are distressed. So, first, I'd like to read the glories of this Kamika Ekadashi. And so, like many of these Ekadashis, we enter into a conversation between Maharaj Yudhishthir, the eldest of the Pandavas, and his cousin brother, Lord Sri Krishna. The saintly King Yudhishthir Maharaj said, "O Supreme Lord, I have heard from you the glories of fasting on Devashayani Ekadashi, which occurs during the light fortnight of the month of Ashad. Now I would like to hear from you the glories of the Ekadashi that occurs during the dark fortnight, Krishna Paksh, of the month of Shravan, July, August. O Govinda Dev, please be merciful to me and explain its glories. O Supreme Vasudev, I offer my most humble obeisances unto you." The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna replied, "O King, please listen attentively as I describe the auspicious influence of this holy fast, Vrat day, which removes all sins. Narada Muni once asked Lord Brahma about this same topic. "O regent of all beings," said Naraji, "O you who sit upon a water-borne lotus throne, please tell me the name of the Ekadashi that occurs during the dark fortnight of the sacred month of Shravan. Please also tell me which deity is to be worshipped on that holy day, the process one must follow to observe it, and the merit it awards." Lord Brahma replied, "My dear son, Narada, for the benefit of all humanity, I shall happily tell you everything you wish to know, for just hearing the glories of the Kamika Ekadashi bestows merit equal to that obtained by one who performs a horse sacrifice." For all of us who don't know, that's a really difficult sacrifice to perform. You have to like subjugate all different kingdoms and find out if there's anybody who opposes you and send out this horse to go roaming and finding objections and all kinds of things. And once they find the objections, then you have to conquer that army and then get them to give you wealth. It's a huge endeavor. Certainly, great merit is attained by one who worships and who also meditates on the lotus feet of the four-armed Lord Gadadhar, who holds a conch shell, disc, club, and lotus in his hands, and who is also known as Sridhar, Hari, Vishnu, Madhava, and Madhusudan. And the blessings achieved by such a person or devotee who worships Lord Vishnu exclusively are far greater than those achieved by one who takes a sacred bath in the Ganges, at Kashi, Varanasi, in the forest of Naimisharanya, or at Pushkar, which is the only place on the planet where I am formally worshipped. So Lord Brahma himself is speaking, and he's saying the only place on the planet where he is worshipped is at Pushkar. And you get innumerable benefits if you take bath there. But even more beneficial is a person who just worships Lord Vishnu exclusively. But one who observes this Kamika Ekadashi and also worships Lord Sri Krishna achieves greater merit than one who has darshan of Lord Kedarnath in the Himalayas, or one who bathes at Kurukshetra during a solar eclipse, or one who donates the whole earth in charity, including its forests and oceans, or one who bathes in the Gandaki River, where sacred shalagrams are found, or the Godavari on a full moon, Purnima day, that falls on a Monday when Leo and Jupiter are conjunct. So for a person who donates the whole earth in charity, for the past few days I've been meditating on the story of Bali Maharaj and how he was able to give everything in charity to Lord Vamanadev. And what he got in return from Lord Vamanadev was his very own planet, which was more beautiful than all of the heavenly planets, which was then personally protected by Lord Vamanadev. And Lord Vamanadev says, "I'm so indebted to you that I will stay with you for quite some time. I will be your doorkeeper." So this is the benefit of the return of one who gives the whole earth in charity. But all of this benefit can be achieved simply by fasting on this one Kamika Ekadashi. How lucky are we? Like, really, how lucky are we? We have such an unprecedented opportunity. This is not given to everyone, everywhere, all of the time. And yet, because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we are being given this chance, which is sought after all over the universe. This chance of this Ekadashi, which gives so much merit, so much benefit. Ekadashi Devi is just pouring forth the blessings from her heart. And all we have to do is follow such a simple little bit of austerity and focus our minds on the Lord of our heart. Observing Kamika Ekadashi bestows the same benefit as donating a milk cow and her auspicious calf along with their feed. On this all auspicious day, whosoever worships Lord Sridhar Dev, Vishnu, is glorified by all the devas, Gandharvas, Panagas, and Nagas. Those who are afraid of their past sins and completely immersed in sinful materialistic life should at least observe this best of Ekadashis according to their ability and thus attain liberation. Look at that. According to our ability. Srila Prabhupada has made so many concessions for us because he understood that according to our ability, we were not able to follow such a strict fast and then staying up all night, staying up the night before, doing kirtan for 3 days straight, chanting all kinds. Srila Prabhupada made it so simple, according to our ability. And thus we can attain liberation. This Ekadashi is the purest of all days and the most powerful for removing sins of the follower. Oh Naraji, Lord Sri Hari himself once said about this Ekadashi, one who fasts on Kamika Ekadashi attains much more merit than one who studies all the spiritual literatures. Anyone who fasts on this particular day, remains awake throughout the night, will never experience the anger of Yamaraj, the king of death personified. It has been seen that whoever observes Kamika Ekadashi will not have to suffer future births. And in the past, too, many yogis of devotion who fasted on this day went to the spiritual world. I mean, who would not jump at the chance to perform such meager austerity? We don't have to stand on the tips of our toes with our hands outstretched. We don't have to do any of that. We simply observe this little fast and we worship Ekadashi Devi and we worship Lord Krishna, and everyone in the universe is happy. One should therefore follow in their auspicious footsteps and strictly observe a fast on this most auspicious of Ekadashis. Whosoever worships Lord Sri Hari with tulsi leaves is freed from all implication of sin. Indeed, he lives untouched by sin, as the lotus leaf, although in the water, is untouched by it. Whosoever offers Lord Sri Hari but a single leaf from this sacred tulsi tree attains as much merit as one who gives away in charity 200 grams of gold and 800 grams of silver. So if we don't have opulence and we are hoping for abundance and we are hoping for opulence, we simply worship Tulsi Devi. And all abundance and opulence is readily there for us. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is more pleased by one who offers him a single tulsi leaf than by one who worships him with pearls, rubies, topaz, diamonds, lapis lazuli, sapphires, gomeda stones, cat's eye gems, and coral. One who offers Lord Keshava newly grown manjari buds from the tulsi plant gets rid of all the sins he has committed during this or any other lifetime. Indeed, mere darshan of Tulsi on Kamika Ekadashi removes all sins, and merely touching her and praying to her removes all kinds of disease. So on behalf of Aaron's aunt, we can pray to Tulsi Maharani on this day to remove all fear, all anxiety, any and all obstacles on the path to spiritual perfection. We are all rooting for your dear relative, Aaron. Thank you so much for telling us about it. We are really, really rooting for your aunt right now. One who waters Tulsi Devi never need fear the Lord of Death Yamaraj. One who plants or transplants Tulsi on this day will eventually reside with Lord Sri Krishna in his abode. To Srimati Tulsi Devi, who awards liberation in devotional service, one should therefore daily offer one's full obeisances. Even Chitragupta, Yamaraja's secretary, cannot calculate the merit obtained by one who offers Srimati Tulsi Devi a perpetually burning ghee lamp. So dear is this sacred Ekadashi to the Supreme Personality of Godhead that all the forefathers of one who offers a bright ghee lamp to Lord Sri Krishna on this day ascend to the heavenly planets and drink the celestial nectar there. Whoever offers a ghee or sesame oil lamp to Sri Krishna on this day is freed from all his sins and enters the abode of Surya, the sun god, with a body as bright as 10 million lamps. This Ekadashi is so powerful that if one who is unable to fast simply follows the practices as mentioned herein, he or she is elevated to the heavenly planets along with all their forefathers. So Aaron, you are doing everything possible for your family. You are doing all the best things for all of your family, past, present, future, even family members you don't even know you have. You are doing the best thing that you could ever do, which is to just be Krishna conscious, to take shelter of Ekadashi, to take shelter of Tulsi Devi, and to take shelter of the lotus feet of our dearest friend Sri Krishna. O Maharaj Yudhishthir, Lord Sri Krishna concluded, these were the words of Prajapati Brahma to his son Narada Muni concerning the incalculable glories of this Kamika Ekadashi, which removes all sins. This sacred day nullifies even the sin of killing a Brahmin, or the sin of killing an unborn child in the womb. And it promotes one to the spiritual world by making one supremely meritorious. One who kills the innocent, i.e. a Brahmin or a child in the womb, a pious and spotless woman, etc., and then later hears about the glories of Kamika Ekadashi, will be relieved of the reactions to one's sins. However, one should not think beforehand that one can kill a Brahmin or other innocent folk and then go unpunished simply by hearing of this Ekadashi. Such knowing committance of sin is an abomination. Whosoever hears these glories of the Kamika Ekadashi with faith becomes free of all sins and returns home back to Godhead, Vishnu Loka, Vaikuntha. Thus ends the narration of the glories of the Shravan Krishna Ekadashi or Kamika Ekadashi from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Ekadashi Devi Ki Jai. How glorious is this Ekadashi? How wonderful is Ekadashi Devi? Just hearing about it erases innumerable, incalculable sins, as our Krishna says. Who wouldn't be eager to find out more? To figure out a way to just convince ourselves that we must follow this fast of Ekadashi. Something that gives pleasure to Krishna's heart. We are always kind of looking. We can do things for our own benefit, but what about Krishna's benefit, you know? We want to make him happy. And even sometimes we're thinking, what if all this is a little, exaggerated? But we hear that one who hears these glories with faith becomes free of all sins and returns back home, back to Godhead. And then they say, Vishnu Loka Vaikuntha. And I say, I'll take it. I'll take it all. I'll take anything I can get. Sometimes we think we're hearing about Vishnu Loka and Vaikuntha, and we think, you know what, actually, shouldn't we just be concerned with going to Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna's abode, Nothing else will do. I have since changed my views. I will not shut down any blessings that my Lord wants to give me. If he wants to say, you will return to Vaikuntha Loka, Vishnu Loka, I'll take it. I'll take it. And I'm about to explain to you why. We think that, do we actually think that Lord Vishnu cannot introduce us to the Lord of our heart, Shri Krishna? Just look at Gopakumar within Brihad Bhagavatamrita. He goes to Vaikuntha and he meets Lord Vishnu, and within the core of his heart, he is constantly worshipping Krishna, his Madan Gopal. And he's so fixed on worshipping Lord Krishna as Madan Gopal that Lord Vishnu even says, I understand what's happening here. I know the Lord of your heart. I understand it. And I almost wish you would look at me that same way. Lord Vishnu is clamoring for somebody to treat him so intensely, affectionately, like a child, like a friend, like a lover, like a beloved, like a parent. And for Gopakumar, Madan Gopal was his everything. So he's saying, I wish you would look at me with such affection, with such familiarity, like I'm family. But I understand that you are still looking at me with some awe and reverence because I am Lord Vishnu, but he ushers him on his path on to Goloka Vrindavan. So do we think that Lord Vishnu cannot show us the way? That's our own mistake. That would be our own folly, to pass up the opportunity to get as close as humanly possible. I'll take any opportunity to get as close as I can to my Lord Govindadev. I will take it. So if just hearing the glories of Ekadashi with faith gets us to Vaikuntha Loka, I'll take it. I'll take it. Because my hope and my prayer is that Lord Vishnu will usher me even closer to my Lord. In this connection, I will try and quickly read one more story, which I think is so incredibly important for us to meditate on. I was going kind of fast today because there's a lot to cover. But there is a month called Purushottam Mas coming in just a few days. And I thought, just before it gets here, why don't we find out the glories of this month, how this month came to be, why this month is here? Why don't we find out the history behind this month so that when this month comes, we can rejoice all month? Because there are so many benefits, and sometimes we think, well, I wish I'd have known about this before. So now here's our opportunity. Just maybe 5-6 days from now, this month is coming. So here are the glories of Sri Purushottam Mas. This is from the Padma Purana. Once upon a time, I love stories that begin that way, thousands of sages came together in the holy place called Naimisharanya to perform a sacrifice, which we just heard about Naimisharanya. And fasting on this Ekadashi gives even more benefit than being at Naimisharanya. How amazing! To their very good fortune, the great sage Sutta Goswami, who had been traveling to different pilgrimage sites, arrived there along with his disciples. The sages present were very enlivened to see him. They all stood up immediately to pay their respects to the great sage, offered him a very nice Vyasasan, and requested him with folded hands to sit down on it. The sages of Naimisharanya said to Sutta Goswami with folded hands, "O Suttaji, we humbly request you to tell us something about the wonderful activities and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are many thousands of such narrations, but we want to hear the most perfect one, by following which we can all be delivered from this material ocean and return back to Godhead." Sutta Goswami said, "O sages, I am just now coming from Hastinapur, where I heard Srimad Bhagavatam from the lotus mouth of Shukadev Goswami. Now I will tell you about the all-attractive activities and pastimes of the Lord. Once, long ago, Sri Narada Muni reached Badrik Ashram, the residence of Sri Nara Narayan Rishi. The river Alakananda was flowing down from his lotus feet. Narada paid his obeisances to Lord Narayan and then prayed, "O Lord of the demigods, O ocean of mercy, O master of creation, you are all truthful, the essence of all truths. I offer my obeisances unto you, O Lord. In this material world, all living entities are busily engaged in sense gratification. They have all forgotten the ultimate goal of life. Therefore, please explain something which will be helpful both for householders and sages in the renounced order like me. Something that will help us attain self-realization and return back to Godhead." Hearing the sweet words of Narada, Lord Narayan smiled. He said, "O Narada, please listen to the narrations about the supremely pious pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, for they will diminish all sinful reaction." You see, this is Lord Narayan speaking. This is why I don't mind. You see, you go to Vaikuntha, you go to Vishnu Loka, you go seek out Lord Narayan, and he tells you about Krishna. You see? You already know of all the activities of the Supreme Lord, but for the benefit of others, you are asking me again. So now I will tell you about the glories of the sacred Purushottam month, which is fully potent to grant not only all material happiness, but also qualify one to return back to Godhead at the end of life. Nadaji inquired, "O Lord, I have heard about the glories of all months, including Kartik, Chaitra, etc. But which month is this Purushottam month? O Ocean of Mercy, please tell me about this sacred month. What is the way to glorify this month? What should I do in this month? How should I take bath, give in charity, etc.? What should I chant? Who should I worship? Should I observe fasting in this month? Please tell me everything in detail." Suta Goswami said, "O sages, after hearing all these questions from Narada, Lord Narayan began to speak from his moon-like lotus mouth. O Narada, I will tell you something which was previously explained by Lord Sri Krishna to Maharaj Yudhishthir. Once, Dharmaraj Yudhishthir lost everything, his empire, his palace, and even his chaste wife Draupadi, to Duryodhana in a gambling match. At that time, Draupadi was insulted by Dushasan in front of the whole royal assembly. But when Dushasan had tried to strip Draupadi naked, she was saved from such a dangerous situation by Lord Sri Krishna. After this incident, Yudhishthira Maharaj, along with his brothers and wife, left his kingdom and lived in Kamyavan, Vrindavan. So it's interesting to note that the Pandavas had a 12-year exile and they had to spend the 13th year in anonymity, like incognito. And so for those 12 years, they were living in Kamyavan, in Vrindavan. Kamyavan is a place where Tulsi Devi is very much worshipped. And I'm just thinking about all these threads, coming together on this Ekadashi. We've got the worship of Tulsi Devi, the remembrance of Tulsi Devi. We've got Kamyavan in Vrindavan. But think about how fortunate these Pandavas were. They were in exile, but they got to spend their exile in Vrindavan, in Kamyavan. Once Sri Krishna, the son of Devaki, visited the Pandavas in that forest. So, when we hear that Sri Krishna leaves Vrindavan and he does not return, we can understand that it feels as though he doesn't return for a very long time. But he went back. He went back and forth. Because one cannot think that he would go all the way to Kamyavan Vrindavan and visit the Pandavas and not also make a little stop and visit all of his loved ones in Vrindavan proper. And so we see that Krishna always keeps his promises. When he tells the Vrindavan Vasis, "I will return, I promise, I will come back," we can see there are little hints all through Shastra that tell the secrets of how Krishna keeps that promise to his devotees. So he was visiting the Pandavas in Kamyavan, in Vrindavan, which gives me so much hope because I'm like, they're so close to the Brijvasis. I know Krishna must have visited them. So all the Pandavas, including Draupadi, were very happy to see their lord, and they forgot their painful forest life immediately. They felt enriched with a new life just by taking Sri Krishna's darshan. They paid their obeisances at their lord's lotus feet, seeing the miserable condition of the Pandavas. Sri Krishna. Now, how does Krishna react when he sees his friends are upset? Yes, this is what we want to know, because sometimes we will also be upset. Sri Krishna became very upset. And at the same time, he became very angry towards Duryodhana. It appeared as if the Lord was going to destroy the whole universe. And so the Pandavas became very fearful and all began to pray to the Lord in a humble mood. Listening to the humble prayers of Arjuna, the Lord composed himself and said, "O Arjuna, being very pleased with all of you Pandavas and being controlled by your devotion and friendship toward me." Okay, once again, being controlled by your devotion and friendship towards me. Friends, this is the best news ever. We control Krishna by our devotion and friendship toward him. And isn't that what we all want? I will now tell you about the wonderful history of Purushottam month. Once upon a time, by the arrangement of Providence, an extra month came to this world. Everyone took this month to be most inauspicious, and even saw it as a stool-like month. Oh no. Just as one should not touch stool, this month was also seen as untouchable. It was constantly unprotected and blasphemed. and rejected by everyone as an improper time for any religious and auspicious activities. Krishna, Krishna. Being so rejected by all human beings and constantly hearing only bad words and blasphemy, the personality of this extra month became very sad. She came to Vaikunta to explain her sorrowful situation to the Lord. Seeing Lord Vishnu on his Singhasan, she fell down at his lotus feet in a mood of sorrow and grief. Tears were falling profusely from her eyes. She prayed to the Lord, "O ocean of mercy, I have come to you because I am helpless. I have been rejected and blasphemed by all people of the world. Please protect me. Please show me your mercy. Please don't be indifferent towards me." Saying these words, the extra month, Adik Mas, continued crying in front of Lord Vishnu and sat down before him in a dejected mood. Seeing the humble and pitiable position of the extra month, Lord Vishnu became very merciful towards her. He told her, "Do not lament. I shall give you protection from all your miseries. Please stop crying. It is not proper to lament after taking shelter of my lotus feet." Oh, how sweet is our Lord. Being so consoled by the Lord, the extra month said, "O Lord, you know my painful condition. No one is more miserable, in a more miserable situation in these three worlds than I. First of all other months, years, days, nights, directions, etc. are being protected by you. And so they are always moving fearlessly in their unique, charming moods. But I, an extra month, don't have any name, nor any protector, nor a husband to give me shelter. All the demigods and human beings have rejected me for any auspicious activities. For this reason, O Lord, I want to die immediately." O Narada, this extra month then repeatedly said, "I want to die, I want to die, I want to die." Then she fainted at the feet of the Lord. Being requested by Lord Vishnu, Garuda started fanning the extra month. Oh. And after some time she got up and began to speak again. "O Lord of the universe, I am in need of your shelter. Please protect me." Lord Vishnu told the extra month, "O child, please don't lament. Your misery will be finished very soon. Get up, come with me to Goloka Vrindavan, which is unattainable even to great yogis. Goloka is the abode of Lord Sri Krishna. Here Lord Sri Krishna is in his two-handed form, surrounded by gopis, and is enjoying eternal pastimes. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna of Goloka will deliver you from all your miseries. Please come with me." The Lord then took this Malamas, the extra month, to Goloka by catching her by the hand. So you see, not so bad to go to Vaikunta. From a distant place, Lord Vishnu and Malamas observed the effulgence of Goloka. This dazzling effulgence automatically forced Malamas to close her eyes. Therefore, keeping the extra month behind him, Lord Vishnu proceeded further until they reached the main gate. There, the doorkeeper paid their respects to Lord Vishnu. How sweet. So first he's holding her by the hand. "Come with me, I'll take you, you know. And this is what we all need. Oh, my Lord, hold my hand when I'm in misery. Lead me to whatever can help me, but I need you to hold my hand. Place yourself in front of me as a shield, because sometimes I might be afraid of these blessings. They're too effulgent." Having reached the supreme abode, Lord Vishnu met Lord Krishna, who was surrounded by many devoted gopis. Lord Vishnu, the husband of Rama Devi, paid his obeisances to Lord Sri Krishna. Then he made the extra month also offer her obeisances at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, even though she was crying loudly. Immediately, Sri Krishna asked, "Why is she crying?" "She is in Goloka Vrindavan. Why is she crying?" So clearly no one cries in Goloka. You know, this is a place where there is no misery. How could she be miserable? Hearing these words from Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Vishnu got up from his seat and started explaining the miserable condition of the extra month. He begged him to please protect his unprotected month. "There is no one except you, Lord Krishna, who can save this extra month from her hellish condition and give her full protection." Having said these words, Lord Vishnu remained standing in front of Lord Krishna with folded hands. Then Suta Goswami continued to speak. O sages, Lord Vishnu took his seat, and Lord Krishna spoke very confidential words to him. Listen carefully, for I am now going to share these words with all of you. Purushottam Sri Krishna said, O Vishnu, you have done a very great deed by bringing this extra month to me. You will become even more famous for performing this act. Because you have accepted this malamas, I will also accept her. I shall make this poor extra month just like me in quality, fame, opulence, realization, success, and in giving benediction to the devotees. This month will become equally potent to me. I am bestowing all of my divine qualities in this abused month. Named after me, this month will be famous as Purushottam Mas in this world. So she said before she had no husband, no one to protect her. Shri Krishna in essence says, I'll marry you, and as my wife, you can take my name. So he names her Purushottam Mas. O Janardhan, now that she has been imbued with my qualities, I myself will become the husband and protector of this Purushottam month. And being equal to me, this month will be the master of all other months. Now this month will become worshipable by one and all. Everyone should pay their obeisances to her. Everyone should worship her. This month is equally as powerful as me to give any type of benediction to its observer. The worshipper of this month will be able to burn all his past sinful reactions to ashes, and after enjoying a blissful life in the material realm, he will return back to Godhead. O Garudadwaja, Lord Shri Krishna continued, my Goloka is unattainable to the performers of austerities, Mahatmas engaged in pious activities, to people who maintain celibacy, or to those who fast their whole life's duration. But just by observing Purushottam month and becoming a devotee, one can easily cross over this material ocean and return back to Godhead. Observance of this Purushottam month is the best of all austerities. Just as a farmer produces a rich harvest by planting seeds in nicely cultivated land, so an intelligent man who practices devotional service towards the Supreme Lord in this Purushottam month will enjoy a blissful life while in this world, and after leaving his body, he will return back to Godhead. An unfortunate, ignorant man who does not perform any japa, does not give any charity, does not pay respect to Lord Shri Krishna and his devotees, does not behave properly to Brahmins, who makes enmity with others, and who blasphemes Purushottam month will go to hell for an unlimited period. Krishna. Lord Shri Krishna continued, how can a person make his life successful unless he performs devotional service in this Purushottam month? A person who is fully engaged in sense gratification and does not give any special importance to this sacred month becomes the best candidate for hell. All human beings should perform some devotional service in this Purushottam month by daily worshipping me, Shri Krishna, by chanting my holy names, study of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, giving in charity, and offering a diya or a ghee lamp. A fortunate person who follows my instructions and observes this Purushottam month properly and in a faithful way worships me will attain fame, opulence, and a good son in this very life. After enjoying a happy life, he will return back to Golokadam. By following my instructions, everyone should worship this sacred month. I have made it the best among all other months. O husband of Rama Devi, the goddess of fortune, Lord Vishnu, give up all kinds of mental speculation about this extra month. Just take this Purushottam month with you to your Vaikuntha abode. After narrating this brief history of the Purushottam month, Lord Krishna glanced very mercifully upon Yudhishthir and Draupadi, and then began speaking to Arjuna. O lion amongst men, can you now understand the reason why you Pandavas are suffering? You did not acknowledge or honor the presence of Purushottam month, which has just recently finished. That month which is most dear to Vrindavan Chandra has passed, but you Pandavas were in the forest and did not worship Purushottam month, so now you are suffering. You have been following the ritualistic principles given to you by Vyasadeva, but unless you worship Purushottam month, you cannot perform pure devotional service to me. Lord Shri Krishna continued. He then narrates the story of Draupadi in a former life. He says that she was a Brahmani, the daughter of a great sage called Madhavi. Her mother died, and um, she wanted all of the best things in life. She was very beautiful, and she wanted a husband. And so the sage Durvasa Muni appeared, and she asked him, "How can I get a husband?" Durvasa Muni says, "Oh, beautiful one, 3 months from now, the most auspicious Purushottam month will begin. This sacred month is most dear to Lord Shri Krishna. Just by taking a holy bath in this month, a man or woman can become completely sinless. This Purushottam month is more glorious than all other months, including Kartik month. The glories of all other months is not even equal to 1/16 of the glories of Purushottam month or Purushottam Mas. The merit of a person who takes a holy bath even once in this month is equal to the merit of taking a bath in the Ganges for 12,000 years. If you will take a holy bath, give in charity, and chant the holy names of Shri Krishna during this month, all your miseries will go away. You will attain all kinds of perfection, and all of your desires will be fulfilled. Please follow my advice. Please do not forget to worship the forthcoming Purushottam month very sincerely." However, this Brahmani did not believe the words of Durvasa Muni, and she became very angry and began criticizing him. "Oh, great sage, you're exaggerating. How could this extra month, which is called Malamas, the bad month, the stool month, yikes, be superior to great months like Magh, Kartik, and Vaishak? I cannot believe your words. You are trying to cheat me. This extra month is known to be most abominable for any kind of pious activity." Durvasa Muni, of course, got very upset, and his eyes got very red, but he controlled himself, realizing she was a very young girl. And he told her, "I cannot curse you, because your father was a good friend of mine. You are an ignorant child, and so you cannot understand these shastric conclusions. I am not going to take your offenses toward me seriously, but at the same time I cannot and should not tolerate your offenses toward Purushottam month. In your next life, you will reap the results of your offensive words." Then Durvasa Muni left that place. The young Brahmani began to perform austerities to Lord Shiva. When Lord Shiva finally appeared before her, he asked, "What can I do for you? What boon can I grant you?" And she says, "O friend of the poor, if you are pleased with me, then please give me a husband." Repeatedly, she spoke the same words, "Give me a husband, give me a husband." 5 times, she said. Lord Shiva said, "Let it be. You have asked for a husband 5 times, therefore you will get 5 husbands." This girl became very ashamed. "How will this go on with society? No one will accept me. I cannot have 5 husbands. Please take back this boon." Lord Shiva said, "That is impossible. I have already given what you have asked for, and it has been granted." Shri Radha Murlidhara ki jai. He said, "You will get 5 husbands in your next life. Previously, you offended Purushottam month by not following the advice of sage Durvasa. Lord Durvasa Muni and myself are in one form. We are the same. All the demigods, including Lord Brahma and all the saints like Narada, worship Purushottam month, but you were not willing to. And so in this way, you will reap the results of being an offender to this sacred Purushottam month, and you will get 5 husbands in your next life." And so in this way, they say that this is why Draupadi and the Pandavas lost all of their wealth. She got 5 husbands and they lost all of their wealth. She had to go through such intense suffering. But she was still saved by Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna says, "She is none other than your present wife." And because she had blasphemed Purushottam month, she was insulted by Dushasan in front of the whole Kuru assembly. Fortunately, she remembered me and took my shelter. Forgiving her offenses, I protected her from that most abominable condition and saved her from the hands of Dushasan. And then Shri Krishna tells the Pandava brothers, Jai. Shri Radha Murlidhara ki jai, Shri Gaura Chandra ki jai. I'll just finish quickly. Jai. So Lord Shri Krishna finally says to all of those Pandavas, not sure if y'all can.
Let's wait until the conch plays.
Sure, Jai.
Okay. Where's Prabhu? You will receive 5 husbands in your next life. If you ask 5 times.
Bring them, I'm ready.
He's ready.
So Shri Krishna says that
Yeah, you will turn it back over to you.
she says that Shri Krishna says that fortunately Draupadi took shelter of Krishna, and he forgave all of her offenses and protected her from that most abominable condition. And then he says, "Oh dear Pandava brothers, please do not forget to worship the forthcoming Purushottam month. A person who blasphemes Purushottam month will never attain good fortune. This Purushottam month is fully potent to fulfill all your desires and remove all miseries. Now your years of forest life are coming to an end. Please worship this Purushottam month sincerely, for it will bestow all good fortune upon you." Giving full consolation to the Pandavas in this way, Lord Shri Krishna left that place for Dwarka. And when Purushottam month appeared, Maharaj Yudhishthira reminded his younger brothers and wife Draupadi of the words of Lord Shri Krishna. All of them followed the instructions he had given them. They worshipped Purushottam, Shri Krishna, in various ways during this sacred month. From that merit, they achieved by performing Purushottam Vrat, they regained their lost kingdom, and after enjoying a happy life, they all returned back to Godhead by the grace of Lord Shri Krishna. An intelligent person should engage himself in hearing Krishna Katha from pure souls. In this way, one should meditate on Krishna and discuss his pastimes with other devotees. He should take rest thinking of Shri Krishna within his heart. If one is a grihasta, then he should perform his household duties in a truthful and peaceful way. He should not commit violence to others and should be merciful towards saintly people as well to the poor. Protection of animals, truthful speech, mercifulness, and non-violence are some of the important principles a grihasta should follow. Finally, Sutta Goswami said, by hearing all of the glories of Purushottam month, Narada Muni became very pleased. He paid his obeisances again and again and began to speak. "Oh, this Purushottam month is the best of all months. It is the best of all kinds of vrats and austerities. Even if one just hears the glories of Purushottam month faithfully, he will achieve devotional service to the Supreme Lord Sri Purushottam, and all of his sinful reactions will be immediately nullified. One who performs Purushottam Vrat and worships Purushottam month properly will achieve unlimited merit and thus attain Goloka." Narada Muni then told Lord Narayan, "O Lord, now I am fully satisfied, and my heart and mind are completely content. All glories unto you." Sutta Goswami asked permission from the assembled sages to take their leave, bathe in the Ganges, and perform his regular duties. They gratefully agreed, and he then paid them his humble obeisances and went to the Ganges. The sages of Naimisharanya then spoke amongst themselves. "Oh, this sacred Purushottam month is most glorious, and its history is ancient. It is so merciful that it fulfills all of a devotee's desires, just like a desire tree. How glorious is Purushottam month." So we only have 4 really key things that we need to do during this Purushottam month coming up. 1, worshiping Lord Shri Krishna by chanting his holy names. So even if we wanted to increase our japa or just focus more intently on our japa, we can fulfill that. Number 1. Number 2, studying Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. which is so simple. Even if we commit to reading one line a day, this is so simple. 3, giving in charity. And we can find temples. We can give in charity to our friends. We can hear about them. We can hear in confidence and reflect in confidence. Also, still giving in charity. So it doesn't always have to be that we give material things. We can give our hearts. We can give our attention. We can give our time in charity to our friends, even. And the last is offering a diya, a ghee lamp, just like we do in the month of Kartik. So every day, if we just do those 4 things, chanting the holy names, studying Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, giving in charity, and offering a diya, we can observe this Purushottam Vrat. And so many people look at Ekadashi as the beginning of certain vrats and vows, and so we can have it in our mind that Purushottam month is coming, and we can eagerly get ready for all of the benefits that are about to be bestowed upon us. Shri Ekadashi Devi ki jai, Purushottam Mas ki jai, Shri Purushottam Shri Krishna ki jai. All glories to our dearmost friend and our beloved Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Chuta Gopi Devi Prabhu Ki Jai. The Purushottam month is starting next Tuesday, the 18th. I believe that's what the calendar says. So study Srimad Bhagavatam. What are the other 3? Gosh.
It's in the chat.
In the chat. Okay.
We can chant the holy names, study Srimad Bhagavatam, give in charity, and last but not least, offer a diya.
Indeed. Wonderful. Thank you, Srila Gopi. My quick takeaway is that if I ever feel rejected or minimized or marginalized, I'll meditate on this Purushottam month.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Isn't it? And our Lord will take us by the hand and lead us to the fulfillment of all of our desires.
I'm mostly marginalized by my own crazy mind. Other people are very kind to me. Okay, do we have any reflections? It's 8:10, so let's make it quick. We can take one reflection or a question. Appreciation. Your work will not go anywhere. Please give some time to Krishna. Andrea. I know Andrea is working, so I'm putting her on the spot.
Hare Krishna, yes, just real quick, I'm just so grateful to Achyuta Gopi Prabhu for highlighting Purushottam month, because it was actually one of the reasons why they chose that date for the initiation. And I know that Rukmini Walker Prabhu had spoken about the auspiciousness of doing the initiation on the first day of the month. So really having that highlighted by Achyuta Gopi Prabhu is really helping me be in a space of gratitude and excitement, and just kind of, just being able to hold that space and being less in the nervousness and more in the gratitude and the excitement. So thank you so much, Achyuta Gopi Prabhu. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And I am so excited for you. You basically have like the best day ever. You've got like the best initiation day ever. Don't be nervous. Krishna is so eager just to have us all be closer to him. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to worry. Like, what if I make a mistake? Krishna knows. He's ready for all the mistakes. And he's already signed his contract that says, I will not leave you. Despite any and all mistakes, he's already signed his end of the contract. He's just waiting for the formal fire yagya for you to sign your part. Guru Maharaj will sign their part, and Krishna is already excited, eager. Just think about it. How incredible is that? You know, when we think about our initiations, we're thinking so much about us, but think about how excited Krishna must be. I've been waiting for lifetimes for you to turn toward me, and now you will make a formal commitment in front of everyone that says, Krishna, I'll just acknowledge you more and more in my life. Krishna is so excited. Brihad Bhagavatamrita says that hope has Krishna, in Sanatan Goswami's own words, dancing like a fool. Krishna is dancing, losing his senses, thinking, my devotee will turn toward me? That is how excited Krishna will be that you are taking this step. He has just been waiting. So thank you for fulfilling Krishna's desires. All Krishna wants is that we turn toward him. So now you are fulfilling Krishna's desires. Thank you.
Thank you, Achyuta Gopi. Wonderful reflection on Andrea Prabhu's upcoming initiation. Andrea, I'm excited for you. We're already trying to guess your name.
I know, we'll be cheering. I will be cheering.
Okay, thank you, Achyuta Gopi, once again. Your class is like a boom. Every time we hear your class is like receiving a boom. Thank you.
Thank you all for
Thanks,
putting up with
everyone.
me. Every
What's that?
time. I said thank you all for putting up with me every time.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thanks everyone for participating, for sending your hearts and flowers, for keeping your cameras on occasionally. We appreciate that. Every moment of that we appreciate. So come again tomorrow. Achyuta Gopi, have fun. And we'll look forward to the next class. We love you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.